looking at these pictures and figure out ways to fund priorities. And like I said before, graduate research is a huge priority for GPSA, and it always should be. And we just need to be creative in finding ways to make sure that it's funded.
Thank you all very much. I think at this point, we have about 15 minutes left, about 5:30, so we'll go ahead and move on to closing statements. So again, you'll have about 3 minutes for your closing statement. I'm using the same time card, so you'll see 2 minutes closing mark. So, and we'll start with Katie, whenever you're ready.
Well, I guess I just want to conclude by saying thank you so much for sticking with us for 2 hours. It went really fast for me, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way. But I appreciate your time, and I really appreciate your engagement with GPSA. I think that, what I want to see is GPSA serving more students, more of the 6,000 graduate professional students. When we typically hold elections, we see turnouts of 400, 600. Well, that's like 10% of our voting population. We're graduate students. We're way overeducated. Let's make sure that the students get to the polls. And then after that, engage in the rest of our governance as graduate professional students. What I want to do is I want to make sure that GPSA is an open government where everyone feels welcome to participate, where everyone, where it's an inclusive government, where, not only are there seats at the table, but that people feel comfortable that their voices will be heard, both by the executive branch and the legislative branch. And ultimately, I want to create a GPSA that's accountable to the students, the people we're taking the money from. I want to make sure that we have webcasting so that, if somebody's staying at home, they can still be engaged in their government. I want to make sure that graduate students lead the way for the university in following the New Mexico Open Meetings Act. I don't see that happening at the administrative level. I mean, in the Cost Containment Committee meetings, those have been closed, they've been private. I can't, share the details of those meetings, and it frustrates me no end. It was the first meeting I was a part of this year where the doors were closed and the public wasn't welcome. For the GPSA, it's got to be the opposite. We've got to show the university how it's done. We've got to keep our doors open. We've got to be as open as possible. Has it really only been 1 minute?
Sorry, I missed the mark. You were at 1 minute and 45 seconds.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. I'm almost done anyway. Totally lost my train of thought. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that we need to be the leaders in this campus. We need to reach across the aisle to the undergrads. Where we share a common vision, we should work together. Where we don't share a common vision, I think that we should protect the interests of graduate students. And I think that ultimately that should be held across the table to the administration as well. Where do we share a common vision? Do we believe that the tuition credit should be eliminated? The tax on students that the state levies? Absolutely it should, and the administration agrees with us about that. So let's work together with them in Santa Fe. But when it comes to graduate student interests versus the rest of the campus, I'll always stand with the graduate students because I want to represent your voice across the campus. So thank you very much for your time. Oh, actually, can I say 2 more things?
You had like 30 seconds.
My phone number is 505-720-6391. If anyone wants to call me, you're welcome to. I would love to answer your questions. My email is richardson.physics@gcon.com. Thanks.
Great. So, Patricia, whenever you're ready.
Well, first of all, I've passed out my information. It has my plan. It has my background. It has my contact information. Please share that. Second, I want to thank you also for having taken the time to be here during these 2 hours or more this afternoon. The important part of you being here is what you take from here and where you go with it. And I think that we've talked about processes, we've talked about engagement, we've talked about visibility and how best to do that. Well, I think that it's important to know that, as I said in my opening statement, this is not new to me. I've been an organizer, I've been a mobilizer, I've been a developer, I've sat at the tables with presidents, I've sat at the negotiating tables, I've worked out joint resolutions, and I've been able to navigate through very challenging times. I've been able to help come up with solutions. Most importantly, I've been able to set up the mechanisms and the processes and the plans by which to engage involvement. Involvement isn't something that you just go to a school and you do. learn from a book. Involvement and engagement comes from experience. It comes from developing those skills and those abilities, but having been in the trenches. It comes from having tested the waters. And it comes from having had these difficult discussions. Also, it's very important to note that not all of us are going to come together and agree. My belief is very firm that adversity and differences is what brings people together. It's what unifies us. It forces us to prioritize. It forces us to come up with the plans and the processes so that we can be inclusive and so that we can be responding as one voice, as one unit. It's not, it's not magic, it's hard work, and it takes everyone's involvement. And as I said earlier, all the barriers and obstacles have been thrown at us. We've been accused of of not participating. We've been accused of not coming to the table or volunteering. But one thing that has to be understood, that it's not by invitation. We have to be the ones to set that in place, and we have to be the ones that have to say what it is that we want. Justice is about access, equity, and opportunity, and it's not about just us, it's about justice. And that's what we need to sound across this university, that we will come together. And I have the capacity, I have the experience, I have the expertise, and I have the wisdom because I've navigated through those difficult and challenging times. And because my whole life has been spent as an organizer and as a developer. Thank you.
All right, Jacob, I'm ready for you.
Well, thank you all sincerely for staying with us. I mean, I got tired of hearing myself talk for a little while ago. But in all seriousness, to Patricia and to Joseph and to Katie, thank you. I've learned a lot from each of you during this discussion, and I think that whoever wins, GPSA will be well served. I think that each of us has a commitment to building an open, transparent, vibrant organization that works on the issues that impact not only graduate students here, but across the campus. But I'm just going to talk about why in this race I bring something unique to the table. And that really is the ability and the experience necessary to take bold and new action on the problems that impact graduate students at the University of New Mexico. You know, I've worked on these issues for 3 years now. It doesn't sound like a long time, but it feels like a long time when you're actually in the trenches working on them. I know how the budget of this university works. I know how these things function and impact graduate students. And I know how to relate those discussions to a broader policy question at the state level. Because fundamentally, I care about results, and I care about being of service. I care about making people's lives better. I care about making things better. And I think that if I'm lucky enough and to earn your vote, that that's going to be the prime leadership strategy I use in GPSA, is that I want to engage as many people as possible, both on this campus and outside of this campus, to rethink how we have been addressing these problems, because the problems continue and we need to think differently about them. And how we do that is we take the lead on proposing action steps for reforming the university budget process. We take action steps on proposing a way on how we take the lead on reforming higher education in New Mexico when it comes to the state's tuition policy and support for research at our four-year institutions. And we take the lead on proposing action steps on how we make graduate school more affordable and lucrative for those who seek to pursue it. That's why I'm in this election. And I thank all of you again for staying here, and I hope that we'll be able to continue this discussion after today. But at the end of the day, it's a clear choice. I'm proposing a new and dramatically different vision for this organization, and I hope you'll join me, because I sincerely believe that together we can and we will make some significant progress on these issues. Thank you.
So first off, I wanted to reiterate just what everybody else has been saying the excitement and the gratitude, first off for you being here, but also for this election process in general. I think just the turnout alone of candidates is something quite impressive. I think it's unprecedented, and I don't think that it's ever been really seen before with GPSA. And I think it's a good sign. And I think that having these debates is also a good sign. And with those signs, I think that GPSA is moving in a new direction, and it's part of kind of a philosophy that I live by. And it's, Jacob touched on it, and it's the idea that you always leave something better than the way you found it. There's something, like I said, about it's amazing what can happen when no one takes credit. It's the same kind of idea that there's an internal sense of kind of gratitude for an organization if you can leave something in a position that was better than you found it. And I feel like that's the opportunity for us to do with GPSA in the coming year. There are continuity problems across the board with GPSA. It's difficult. People have to kind of restart the organization every summer. And I think that with the proper leadership and the right ideas, I think that we could put this organization in a position where we can be on top of student concerns every year. And we can be prepared to address issues that come up all the time. And we don't have to start building an organization and a structure around individuals who are leaders in it. And I think that that's a big part of what next year is going to be like. But I really do think that it's bigger than one person. I've mentioned the council a lot, but I've also always been under the impression that one person is never as strong as a group of people. And it's also been my mentality to always surround myself with people who probably know things a lot better than I do, because in reality, there will always be somebody who knows a specific topic better than you. And I think that that's the sign of a really strong leader. And I'm not afraid to take opinions from people, and I think that that's going to be one of the main factors that helps move GPSA forward. I think we're moving in a new direction, and I think that we are going to get more involvement, and I think this election and the number of candidates is the first sign of that, and I'm really excited about it. And I would like to thank the three other candidates up here. I know there are a couple council chair candidates also here.